In an industry stuffed with marketing bullshit, empty promises, and shiny-suited liars, one woman's had enough. She knows what it's like to have the wrong clients, no money, and no time for fun. But she also knows how to fix it. And on the Business for Superheroes show, she promises to tell the down and dirty truth about business, sales, and running away with the circus. Here's your host, Vicky Fraser.
Hello, and welcome to what?
That was quite strident.
Hello, and welcome to the Business for Superheroes show. I'm Vicky Fraser, your host, and this is my husband, Joe.
Hello.
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 I feel a bit weird now.
Yeah, let's stop that.
Okay. So today's show is brought to you by English Champagne and Pain.
It's not English champagne, though, is it? It's not from Champagne. Can't be.
English. Well, it's Old Winchester Hill Oil de Pedry, and it's English sparkling wine, and it's pink, and it's lovely.
It is.
And we are drinking that in order to take the edge off the pain we are feeling, because we are recording this on Monday the 20th of June.
That's about right.
It's a few days ago to you. And yesterday, which was a few days plus one ago to you, we walked 26 miles along the Ridgeway in Oxfordshire.
26 miles, folks, although the GPS said nearer 27.
Yeah, it was. I think it was about 27. Anyway, we walked along the oldest roadway that's still in use in England, and it was fabulous, wasn't it?
It was quite a thing.
We started at... Well, we got there at like 8:30 in the evening, and we went to the finish line because we had to get a bus to the start, because we had to get home again. And we set off at midnight in our team with Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Phil.
And Phil was our support car driver, and Alia and Hannah. And that was our team. And we walked 26 miles, and it was epic. And
I think the tactical error we made was we just had a normal Saturday. We just did our things and got roped into, gardening and pulling down trees and doing stuff all day.
Well, we can't waste the nice weather when we've got so much to do.
I know. But, I think perhaps some sleep might have been advantageous.
Yes.
So, at the point where we really should have been going to bed, having had, a bottle of wine or something, we were starting a 26-mile walk.
Yeah, which was cool because it was really great atmosphere and everyone was excited and we were taking pictures.
Yeah, really well organised. I thought it was really well done.
Really well organised. It was for Sense, by the way, which is the charity for deaf-blind people, which is a really good cause because I thought before I read anything about this charity that these people must just live awful, miserable lives because they're dark and silent and...
Oof.
Yeah, but actually this charity does amazing things for deaf-blind people. So
it's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And so we did this walk and it was fab. And I think it was harder because we were starting when our bodies were thinking, it's bedtime.
For sure.
Circadian rhythms and all that, not ribbons. Circadian rhythms. And it was tough walking in the dark because the Ridgeway is not smooth. And so you couldn't anticipate what kind of balance you were going to need. So it was all reactive.
Really lumpy,
really tiring.
And head tortures and falling down holes and stuff. It was muddy as well.
It was muddy in places.
Puddles, big muddy puddles.
Yeah, and my batteries ran out of my head torch about 2 hours before dawn. And I couldn't replace them because my husband had strode off into the distance, leaving me and Jen behind. He's looking at his feet right now. No, it was cool. Because actually it was the night before the full moon and we were really lucky in that we had the clouds cleared quite early on, and I could see perfectly well by the light of the moon.
Wasn't it?
It was beautiful, yeah, and we got to see the sun come up and hear the dawn chorus, and that's something that everybody should do every now and then. Not necessarily walk 26 miles before dawn, but be up before dawn.
Yeah, being out in the countryside in the quiet.
It's peaceful.
As the sun comes up. Nice thing.
So peaceful.
Yeah.
But I honestly don't know how I finished that walk, though, because the last 3 or 4 miles...
You were beginning to look pretty miserable at the end.
I was in so much pain, and it was sheer force of will because I was starting to hallucinate as well, I think, because I hadn't drunk enough water, which was daft. And because you don't eat like you should. It's difficult. You have to be disciplined and make yourself eat because I just wasn't hungry. Were you?
I ate everything I could find.
Oh.
At the check-in points. There were 2 check-in points. I had about 1,000 calories in each of them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I didn't. I had home. Oh, I made scones.
Scones were good.
The day we went, I made some scones, and I'd made some homemade lemon and passion fruit curd because we've got eggs coming out of our ears.
Lemon and passion fruit curd was excellent.
And so we had scones and homemade lemon curd, which is terribly middle class. But
it was good.
It was epic, yeah.
Really good.
And a flask of tea. And our support car driver, Phil, was awesome because he just kept bringing us stuff. He's like, can I get you anything? Let's do this, let's do that. And then at the end, we had champagne.
And
a scary drive home.
Yeah.
I should point out that I had champagne and Joe drove home, which is still scary because he was so tired.
Yeah.
We're not doing that next time. We'll stay with somebody.
Been up for 36 hours at that point and walked a marathon in dark. Probably not the safest drive I've ever had.
Yeah, don't do that, kids.
Not wise.
So anyway, that was all really cool. And, we just thought I'd explain why we're drinking champagne and not gin this time.
Any excuse, really.
Yeah, basically. So, following on from... Oh, back to business. Here
business,
now.
right, business. Yeah. Serious face.
Yeah, serious face. So, following on... No, I can't do it in that voice.
No.
Following on from last week's announcement that you don't need no stinking ninja tricks...
Ninja tricks?
Ninja tricks. I don't know what happened to my face then.
Just like stopped working for a bit.
It's like peanut butter. It stuck my mouth together, but I'm not eating peanut. Maybe it was the champagne.
Okay, so from this point on, Vicky's going to start slurring horribly.
I'm babbling now. Yeah, you don't need no stinking ninja tricks.
Well done.
Thank you. To market your business well, basically. Oh, I'm not allowed to say basically.
You're not?
No, it's a terrible word to say.
Okay.
So yeah, speaking of stinking ninja tricks, okay, you have to go to, after the podcast, obviously.
Yeah, don't get distracted, folks. Yeah. Come back to it later.
The link will be on the website. Hi, Podfly, can you put the link on the website, please? You need to go to www.tinyurl.com/BFS-ninja. So that's like business for superheroes -ninja. And laugh at the takedown of well-known strike-through scammer, internet marketer, Ty Lopez.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't normally name names, but, this guy's done a thing on YouTube and it's gone pretty viral, so I feel okay with that. But this guy is just, I bought a new Lamborghini and it's in my garage. And it totally isn't his Lamborghini and it totally isn't a garage. And it's just... Oh, and then I Googled him because I hadn't heard of this guy before, Ty Lopez.
Is he just a professional liar?
Well, I think he probably is. But, he does run a business. But if you look into it a little bit closer, just make your own mind up. I'm not, make your own minds up. But go and have a look at this video because it's a dude.
No slander here.
Well, it's a dude. Well, if I'm slandering him, alluding to it, then this dude who's put the YouTube video up is in big bother. But it's very funny anyway. And it's just, go and have a look at it because that is the kind of internet marketing that I hate.
Up with which we will not put.
Up with which we will not put. Exactly. Very good. Very good. So yeah, this week we're expanding on the non-ninja tricks that you need to write copy that people want to read, basically. Or, and when I say copy or ad, it's like an advert or a blog post or an email or a landing page or a sales letter or an article or a story.
Okay.
Or even a speech or a presentation in a meeting.
That's a lot of things you're covering there.
Yeah. Well, no, that's because that's the wonderful thing about AIDCA is that it covers all of the... It's a principle that you can use for any type of persuasive writing or speaking.
Okay.
Because the principle holds true.
AIDCA.
AIDCA. And this acronym and the principles that it describes have been around for centuries. And they worked then, and they still work now, and they'll carry on working for as long as human beings' brains work the way they do. Should we get into it?
I think we should. I'm a bit alarmed that I've drunk my glass of champagne and you haven't really started yours.
Are you thirsty?
For champagne.
Cool. Okay, so you can apply this formula to all writing and speeches and presentations. That's Joe pouring champagne right next to R2D2 so that you can hear the bubbles bubbling. People are going to think we're alcoholics.
We're not alcoholics.
No.
We just like alcohol a lot.
By the way, I should just point out that we walked 26 miles yesterday. And what did I do just before we sat down and did this podcast, Joe?
Went for a run.
I went for a run.
Mental.
I ran 2 miles. Anyway.
I mean, if we're bragging, then, I got out of bed this morning and went to work, but...
I got out of bed and went to work as well.
Yeah, of course you did.
Went a fewer miles than you. Okay, AIDA. The formula for writing words that people will actually read and act upon. This is not a ninja trick, it's principles. Principles of good writing. Actually, more accurately nowadays, it's AIDCA, but that doesn't sound like, it's not such a cool acronym. Joe, what does AIDCA stand for?
We did this. Attention.
Yes.
First A is attention. And then there is going to be interest.
Yep.
And then there is going to be... I'm trying not to look at the notes here. Oh, God. Decisiveness. No. Desire. There you go. Desire.
And then
there is going to be conviction.
Yes.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. And action.
Yes.
Action always comes at the end, because if they don't take action, there's no point.
Oh, exactly. Well done.
Last thing is always action.
That was really patronising of me, sorry.
Thank you.
Cool, okay, so let's start at the start, because we're now 10 minutes in and we haven't really...
let's do some stuff.
Let's do some stuff.
Tell people things.
Yeah, because this is important stuff and everyone needs to know. So A is for attention, as Joe has just magnificently pointed out. There is no point at all in writing an amazing advert or article if nobody notices it, right?
Okay.
So, you could write the best thing in the world, but if you can't get people's attention to read it, then it's pointless.
You got to hook them. Get them in.
Got to hook them. So the best thing you can do, what's the best thing that somebody could possibly do to get your attention? It's really simple.
Threaten me with violence. No.
Probably shout your name.
Shout my name.
Yeah. If you hear your name, think about it, when you're at a cocktail party or something, if you hear your name... I can't believe I said that.
When were you last at a cocktail party?
Joe and I have never in our lives been to a cocktail party. But I think I was just channeling somebody from the 1920s or something. I don't know what happened then.
Have more champagne, love.
Okay, so imagine you're in the pub.
Right, that happens more often.
Yeah. and you hear your name.
Yeah.
Or you hear somebody say Joe. You turn around, don't you? And you're like, oh, who said my name? So that's the absolute best thing that you could do, is use somebody's name in a headline.
Okay.
Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that, or not right now, but with technology coming up, I think there's going to be personalised ads. There are personalised ads already, aren't there? Can you imagine driving along the motorway and you've got those gantry messages that say think, don't drink? What if it was like, Joe, you're driving like a twat? You'd be like, oh.
Mm-hmm. As an aside, do you know they do that in films?
What?
When they have a film that is clearly going to be an international blockbuster, they don't fill in the adverts at the side of the road. If there's like a car scene and people are driving, they don't fill the adverts in at the side of the road. They do it in post-production, and they put them in different adverts for different countries, depending on who's paying.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a really interesting and not irrelevant point, actually.
Well, not irrelevant point.
Because...
Check me out.
No, because it's all about targeting the adverts at your market, specifically. It's a good one. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Cool. I like learning new things.
Anywho.
So yeah, you can't obviously shout somebody's name in an advert or an article or whatever. So what you have to do is the next best thing, which is a compelling headline that calls and speaks to their specific problem. It needs to be something that's bothering them. So if somebody had given me a magazine or put a telly in front of me or something when I was sitting there after the thing, and the headline had been, "Do your feet hurt?" I would have been like, hell yes, they hurt. Can you help me with that? Because my feet were like white hot balls of pain. And that, pain gets attention more than anything else. And if you think about it, it makes sense, because when you were, well, not you, but, when humanity was wandering around in caves and hitting each other on the head with sticks and running away from saber-toothed bears or whatever.
You paint a beautiful word picture.
Thank you. So yeah, you would listen to that rustle in the bush and you would assume that it was something dangerous because it might eat you. And that was what got your attention above and over everything else.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's kind of the same now. You pay attention to danger or problems or whatever. So you might be like walking along the road and admiring the views and, you know, thinking, oh, that's a pretty girl in a short skirt, or that's a hunky bloke in a pair of shorts or whatever. And then dog poo, and your brain instantly sees the dog poo. Danger, yeah, because nobody wants to step in dog poo. No, so you need to find your customer's dog poo. Okay. And then put it in the headline.
But that's not everybody's dog poo. It has to be, I guess, with a mind to what you're trying to, you know, with your avatar who you're trying to sell to. It's their particular
dog poo.
Dog poo. Yes. Not anybody's dog poo. Not everybody's dog poo.
No.
The thing that's bothering the person who's going to be your customer.
So for me yesterday, it might have been, do your feet hurt? And I'd have been, hell yes, I'm going to read this because my feet hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so you've got their attention by speaking to their problem and their pain.
Attention.
Yeah, attention. And I'll come to interest in a moment. But I just want to say something first about what you should not do with your headline. You should not try and be clever. You should not try and be funny. Because clever headlines people won't understand, and what's funny to you probably isn't funny to anyone else. Well, it might be funny to some people, I suppose. But clever headlines will just make people go, oh, that's clever, and then carry on, if they notice it at all. So one of the things that made me laugh is a fairly recent advert, and I say fairly recent, it might be really old. I don't watch telly. Be more dog. Do you remember that?
Be more dog?
Yeah.
Not really.
Well, no, so you don't remember it. Be more dog. It's fucking stupid. I think it was a car advert or a car insurance advert or something, but they thought they were being clever and funny and hip, and now I can't even remember what they were advertising, but I can remember the slogan, be more dog.
Right.
Because it doesn't bloody mean anything. It had nothing to do with dogs, that I do know. So do not be clever and do not try and be funny. Don't do the clickbait thing either.
Oh, yeesh.
No. Mm-hmm. Clickbait is like 25 lampshades that look like Anne Robinson.
Good example.
And what you need to know about them and how they could save you and how they could cure your cancer.
Yes, this guy put a spoon in the dishwasher. You won't believe what happened next.
That's it, yes. But the thing about clickbait is that they do make you click. And but then the problem is
there's going to be a growing resentment against it.
There is
huge groundswell of.
There's a massive growing resentment against it because it's all very well to use it for stuff like that in like BuzzFeed articles and whatnot, because that's the kind of thing that if you're bored you'll click on it and you'll find out what happened to this bloke with the spoon. But if you're a marketer and you use that kind of tactic, you damn well better pay off what's in the headline, otherwise you're instantly going to lose your reader and they're never going to buy anything from you because you've just lost their trust.
But the thing that clickbait is selling is adverts on a page.
Yeah.
So it's not trying to sell you or persuade you to do something. It's just please look at this page while we load adverts at you.
Yes, that is what clickbait does with stuff like BuzzFeed. But marketers are now starting to use the clickbait headlines because they work. Yeah, because they do work. They get you to click. But the thing is, the articles that they send you to on BuzzFeed and stuff, they do pay it off because they'll give you 25 lampshades that look like Anne Robinson. Which isn't a total waste of time, but that's not the point. Ugh. But the thing about using clickbait headlines for selling a product is that often it's like a bait and switch thing. So, they promise you one thing and then you get something else.
Sure.
And people resent that massively. Don't ever do that. So, yeah. So you have to give them dog poo in their headline. And then...
Personalised dog poo.
Personalised dog poo. And then you need to follow that up very fast. So this is basically not doing the bait and switch thing.
Excuse me. Fizzy wine burp there, folks.
That was grim.
Sorry. Carry on. We'll edit that bit out, Podfly guys.
No, don't edit it out. Leave it in. Leave my outrage in as well.
Oh, man. Okay, starting from here. Go.
So you've got your headline. You've got your personalised dog poo in the headline. And then you absolutely have to follow on from that with what comes next, and that's the interest, that's the interest. So you've got their attention, you need to keep that interest. So if somebody gets me with, do your feet hurt? I'm like, hell yes, my feet hurt. And then they need to tell me what they're going to tell me next, which is, I can stop your feet from hurting right now. And I'm like, I'm going to buy whatever you've got. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's made of antelope jizz. I'm going to buy it because it's going to make my feet stop hurting.
What about the antelopes?
They probably enjoyed it. Let's just leave that analogy.
Okay, just move away from that.
Move away from that. But yeah. so you need to follow up, and you need to follow up on the promise or the implied promise in your headline. In my example, "Do your feet hurt?" has an implied promise that they're going to help them stop hurting. Even if the headline is only "Do your feet hurt?" they're calling out to people who have hurty feet, and you're going to
don't like it.
Probably don't like it, and that are going to, with that headline, I'm going to expect some kind of a solution for my hurty feet problem. Mm-hmm. So you need to follow up on that. Don't go off on a random tangent. Don't start talking about many people have hurty feet and it can be a real problem. It's like, I fucking know I've got hurty feet. So it's like, do your feet hurt? I've got a widget that will help. And it's like, excellent. What's the widget?
Can I just rewind a sec there? I think you criticised people who went off on a tangent.
Yes.
Okay.
Does that seem hypocritical to you?
A little bit.
Yeah, but I'm not writing an advert right now.
No.
I'm building relationships, man.
Right. Okay. So anyway, sorry. Divert there.
Yeah. So you've got dog poo, and then you've got the promise of what follows the dog
interest.
poo. Interest. And then, so you need to deliver on the promise you made in your headline, or you need to follow up with more information. Basically, it needs to follow on. And from there, you need to tell them how you can solve their problem. What can you do for them? Bring out your big guns first. Don't save it until the end, because people probably won't bother reading to the end because most copy is boring. And this is helping you not be boring. Don't be boring.
Do not be boring.
If you follow this attention, interest, desire, conviction, action formula, it'll be quite difficult for you to be boring.
Okay.
So that's a good thing. This podcast will make you unboring if you do your talk.
That's a big promise.
But unless it's...
We don't know how dull these people are out there.
They're not dull. They're awesome.
Well, I'm sure. I'm sure the person who's listening to this right now is awesome.
Yeah, you're not making any friends here.
But other people might be.
Don't destroy my relationships.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sure you're great.
So benefits. What is in it for them? Don't make people say "so what" ever. So you've got their attention. You've made them interested by following on from the headline. And then we're on to desire. You cannot create desire for the thing you're selling. You can only create desire for your thing. So people already have to want whatever solution you're selling. But you have to make them want yours.
Interesting concept.
You can't really make people want something that they don't want. There's got to be a need or a desire there for it already. Okay. And anyone who tells you otherwise is flat out lying, by the way. What you have to do is make people want your thing over other people's thing. So, and how do you do that? That's the thing that you need to think about, and that's the tricky one. What is it that makes you special? What makes you stand out? Why should I choose you over every other company out there? So really think about that. Spend a lot of time thinking about that. Because if you can nail that, you will make your customers' task in choosing easy, and they will love you for it. Because the number of products I have given up on because I just got option paralysis, because I was kind of presented with all of these things and I had nothing to choose between. There was nothing to make one thing stand out over the other. So in the end, I've just kind of given up and go, I can't cope with this. I'm just going to leave.
Just going to wander off and do something else.
Yeah. But it's there's companies that I stick with. So for example, like Ecover, I always buy Ecover cleaning products because I want to be kind to the environment, and I want stuff that's okay for a septic tank and all the rest of it. And there's other products out there, and there's Sainsbury's and Tesco's and whatnot own brand products that they say are environmentally friendly, but I pay probably half as much again for Ecover stuff because I like their company.
Okay.
I trust them. They've built a relationship with me through their marketing and their packaging and all the rest of it, and I know why I buy them. So here's something that you can do. You can, every time you go shopping, think about why it is that you're choosing product A over product B. What is it about that company that makes you want to choose? And then think about why people choose you over other people. Or if they do at all, are they just randomly happening on you, in which case you've got some work to do.
Yeah.
Because you don't want people, because if you give people nothing to choose between, they're going to decide on price, and you don't want that. I could buy cheaper cleaning stuff. Of course I could, but I don't. I buy Ecover stuff at, probably nearly twice the price because it's good.
Because it satisfies the things that you're after.
Yeah.
And they told you about it and you found it.
Exactly.
You found it easy.
Yep. So, we're kind of like 24 minutes in. So you know what? I'm going to finish it here. I know.
Shocking.
You're going to have to come back next week for conviction and action. Cunning, eh?
That is evil.
Cunning. So, yeah, there you go.
That means we actually have to do that next week.
I know. Mind you, we said we were going to do that this week, and we did it.
Yeah. That's the first, though, isn't it? Let's face it.
Yeah.
After 28 episodes.
Oh, and then next week as well, I was going to do a different one next week, but we can tie it in, and it involves talking about James Spader, which I love because James Spader is awesome.
Okay.
So next week, you get Conviction and Action and James Spader. All in one podcast.
Sounds reasonable. That's a bargain. How much does this cost?
Oh, you know what? If you don't enjoy it, I'll give you your money back.
That's an offer.
In fact, I'll give you double your money back.
Really?
Yeah.
If you can find it cheaper elsewhere, we'll give you double your money back plus 10%.
And a big kiss.
Ooh.
I feel quite safe. I don't like kissing strangers.
Okay.
I only tolerate kissing you. That's not true. That's not true.
Well, that's lovely. I'm going to have more wine.
Cool. Okay, so remember, kids, anti-AIDA, listen to your anti-AIDA, anti-AIDCA. If you want to write compelling copy that gets attention, keeps their interest, because you've got to keep their interest if you want to keep on reading, and then builds desire for your thing over somebody else's thing. Come back next week and we'll do Conviction and Action.
And James Spader.
Can we do James Spader?
No.
Oh, damn it. So, yeah. Look, I've even got James' next podcast, Persuasion the James Spader Way. Anyway, so thanks very much, guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you for the really lovely testimonials and reviews we're getting. They're super duper. If you've enjoyed this podcast, please go and leave us a review at iTunes or Stitcher.
I can't believe people listen to this. I mean, I think it's great, and I really enjoy it.
I think it's largely dribble.
But yeah, there's people out there listening. Say hi.
No, that's not true. There's good, useful business growth information, but there's some drivel
Pretty
as well.
random nonsense in here too.
Yeah. And burps.
Burps.
No more burps.
Wine. Okay, no more burps, but lots of wine.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Happy week, people. We will see you this time next week.
Bye-bye.
Be good, and if you can't be good, then don't get caught. Bye!
Like what you've just heard? Tell your colleagues, tell your friends, send them to www.businessforsuperheroes.com/podcast.